This is New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News with David Navarro and Shirlene Allicott and Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at noon.
Gearing up for the first big snowfall of the year. How much will we get? When will the first flakes start to fall? We have you covered on this AccuWeather alert. Good afternoon. I'm David Navarro.
And I'm Dinah Williams, in for Shirlene Allicott. You can call this the calm before the storm as local leaders and families make final preparations for what's going to be a white and windy Saturday. The storm will impact people up and down the eastern seaboard, with Washington and Philadelphia expected to get the worst of the weather. A few inches have already fallen in Nashville, Tennessee. That's what it looks like there, and you can see drivers there getting stuck on the roadways. They're not used to snow in Nashville.
Yeah, but here in New York, crews have plows and salt spreaders ready to clear the roads. In New Jersey, the sand dunes are being built up in Belmar to protect the community from coastal flooding. Now, we have several reporters covering the storm and the preparations, beginning with meteorologist Amy Freeze, who's in for Bill Evans. Amy.
Good afternoon to the both of you, Diana and David. As we get going, very cold air is in place. Feels like temperatures in the low 20s. We're sub-freezing on the thermometer throughout the day, so plenty of cold air to work with. Here's where the storm is right now. It's making its way through the southeast. You can see on the north side of the storm, plenty of snow and a lot of moisture coming up on the south side. We'll continue to see that moving in our direction. A blizzard warning is now in effect because of the storm moving in our direction. We're expecting it to start in the city between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So snow will gradually make its way closer to us, and we're already seeing the clouds from the storm overhead, and we'll continue to see this movement over the Delmarva. It looks like by this afternoon's commute, D.C. will already have snow falling. We're expecting it overnight into early tomorrow morning. That means some accumulation by daybreak just south of the city, moving towards the boroughs. 4 to 8 inches during the day tomorrow on Saturday, and then an additional 2 to 4 Saturday night. That's where we're getting that 6 to 12 range, which will affect most people. Of course, lower amounts north into the Hudson Valley, and we are expecting more than a foot in some parts of Jersey. So we'll show you those snow total maps coming up. But blizzard warning going until noon on Sunday. We also have the winter storm warning that's in effect. That goes until Sunday afternoon. And the coastal flood warning. This will have a big impact on south-facing shores of Long Island and the Jersey Shore. We'll talk about what's expected there. We'll also break down the latest information, not only on timing, but what we're expecting as far as snowfall amounts in and around the area. So those details are straight ahead in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We're also reaching out on social media, so if you have any questions, let us know. David?
All right, Amy, remember, you can track the approaching snowstorm on the go with our AccuTrack Weather Alert app. You can download it for free in the App Store for Google Play. Just search ABC7NY. And as Amy mentioned, coastal flooding could be a major issue along the Jersey Shore. And it's going to take more than sandbags and heavy equipment to hold back the water. New Jersey reporter Tony Yates in Manasquan, where a voluntary evacuation is now in place. Tony.
Yes, indeed, David. Manasquan Mayor Ed Donovan met with his emergency team for about an hour and a half this morning, and they came out of that meeting deciding that, yes, people who live in low-lying areas should evacuate, but again, it is voluntary at this point. Now, up and down the Jersey coast, shore towns are preparing for the storm, combined with that Saturday high tide that could cause all that flooding and the beach erosion. Now, this is over in Belmar, where they're building up the dunes for all that added protection they're going to need through the weekend. And we want to show you some video now of flooding that has happened in Manasquan during another storm. The low-lying areas, as you can see, can get very inundated. Mayor Ed Donovan spoke to us about a half an hour ago.
Please get your cars off the streets because of the snow, potential for blizzard conditions, and because of the high tides. In an abundance of caution, we're asking for a voluntary evacuation of low-lying areas in Manasquan. People can check the Manasquan website. We will make announcements about the areas that we're asking for voluntary evacuations, not mandatory, but voluntary evacuations. We're expecting high water Saturday night and then Sunday morning at both high tides.
Now, they're also asking people to not drive around once this storm hits, whether you're in the low-lying areas, high-lying areas, to not drive at all, because they're going to have their snow plows and emergency crews out trying to make sure everything is okay. And for those people who do heed the voluntary evacuations, the township has an agreement with churches in the area to provide shelter if anyone needs it. We will, of course, continue to track these storm preps as these coastal towns get ready for this storm. For now, we're live here in Manasquan. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Back to you guys.
All right, Tony, thanks a lot. Well, Governor Christie is reconsidering his strategy on the storm. Yesterday, he said he would not cancel his out-of-state campaign plans because of it. Now he says he hasn't made a final decision on if he will return home to oversee the state's response.
If I feel like it's necessary for me to get down there, I will. But I'm not driving a plow truck, okay? So we have all of our people ready to go. They know what to do. We've been through Hurricane Sandy.
Mayor de Blasio said it is wrong for Christie to remain in New Hampshire. He says Christie needs to see what is happening firsthand.
The mayor also says that New York City will be ready for this storm. The city has issued a travel advisory and is asking everyone to stay off the streets so that the plows can clear the snow. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Nelson is live in Sheepshead Bay in Brooklyn with more. Rob?
Good afternoon, Diana. Well, up until now, let's be honest, we've had a pretty mild winter, but as we know by now, that is about to change drastically in the next 24 hours. And that's why today, city officials are letting residents know that they are ready for this storm and this first real battle with Old Man Winter. The waters here in Sheepshead Bay are calm right now. A cold, sunny Friday about to give way to a harsh, snowy weekend.
Everyone's already in ready mode. Personnel are coming in. They know they're going to be doing long shifts. We're going to have plenty of vehicles, plenty of people to handle this.
Cities further south will take the brunt of this storm, but officials in our area are bracing for several inches of snow and perhaps more dangerously, high winds that could cause major coastal flooding.
A lot of the major areas that bore the brunt of Sandy have been reinforced. Sand dunes and other measures have been put in place to really protect those communities permanently. And we have temporary measures we'll put in place as well.
This morning, NYPD officials showed off an array of equipment to battle high water, including trucks, rafts, even an airboat and jet ski.
Based upon what we've seen in the past and what conditions that we could actually experience, we now have officers in the precincts that are capable of deploying this type of equipment and performing those rescue operations.
Coastal areas, as always, are vulnerable in storms, and the lessons from Superstorm Sandy are still fresh.
Areas that we have actually experienced flooding, even prior to Sandy, but specifically with Sandy, that we know we had the most problems with regard to people that were in distress.
Meantime, city officials are preparing their usual snowstorm arsenal. About 300,000 tons of rock salt, 1,800 plows, and 600 salt spreaders ready to hit the street for the storm and for the big cleanup. Now, a snow alert for New York City goes into effect in less than 24 hours at 3 a.m. tomorrow. At 4 a.m. is when that blizzard warning officially kicks in. We do expect, though, mass transit to run as normal as possible tomorrow, and city officials do believe that schools will be open come Monday. Reporting live in Brooklyn, Rob Nelson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Mayor de Blasio will update us on the city's preparations for the storm, and that's going to begin about 1:30 this afternoon. We will carry it live right here on Channel 7 and, of course, at ABC 7 NY.
On Long Island, utility crews trimming trees in advance of the snow, hoping to reduce outages from fallen limbs. Eyewitness News reporter Stacy Sager is in Hicksville with much more on that. Stacy.
Well, Dave, obviously the big concern out here is power outages, especially if we get these strong winds that are being predicted for tomorrow. We just spoke with all the folks here at PSEG. They say they have a full fleet of crews. That's about 1,000 field personnel ready to go for tomorrow. Now, already today, there were crews out and about on Long Island's North Shore, especially, which is more prone to power outages because of all the trees. PSEG tells us because of programs like this one, that is increasing the distance between power lines and tree branches, they've been able to reduce outages in these communities by as much as 60%. Now, as for tomorrow's storm, they urge customers to remember two things: safety and patience.
know the information that they need to know in terms of how to report an outage, which is, the 1-800 number that we have, 490-0075. Stay in touch with us through social media. We have an enhanced social media team with Twitter and Facebook where they can get regular updates, but also know that during a storm like this, there could be outages. So have a little patience with us. We want to get you, all of our customers, restored as quickly and as safely as possible.
And they make the point that obviously they can't put their crew members up in those buckets if there are winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour. So that's why they're urging customers to be patient. Once again, the phone number to call if you have a power outage, that emergency phone number is 1-800-490-0075. 1-800-490-0075. And they are just urging people to remain safe, stay indoors. We are live at PSEG in Hicksville. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, thank you, Stacey. This wide-ranging storm means thousands of canceled flights all across the country. More than 4,800 flights have been canceled in the U.S. today and tomorrow. All major airlines issued waivers for the weekend, allowing passengers to rebook onto earlier or later flights. And of course, the bulk of today's cancellations were down in Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina, while tomorrow's cancellations center on Philly and Washington and right here in New York.
A blizzard is expected to dump more than 2 feet of snow over Washington, D.C., enough to shut down the city. Just moments ago, the federal government closed its offices. It started at noon. The area's subway system will shut down late today and remain closed through Sunday. Hospitals in the nation's capital getting ready for whatever this storm brings its way. That includes putting emergency plans in place for workers to shelter in place tonight and tomorrow. A lot going on, so stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of this storm. And again, we will bring you Mayor de Blasio's news conference live. It's expected to begin at 1:30.
This is a weekend to stay off the road, stay home, watch us on the air. We're going to be on the air nonstop covering this for you, so stay home and relax. We'll have it all for you. Still ahead, we've got the other news of the day, including a mother robbed and then shot outside of a hotel near JFK with her daughter in the car. We're live with the search for the gunman.
Plus, the real police arrest a man who flashed a police badge and pulled over a driver. What that driver did next, it got this impersonator busted.
And why an American college student has been arrested in North Korea. We'll be right back.
It's time.